Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, March the 27th of 2026. If you've been trading for a while and you're still not consistently profitable, this might be the video that finally changes that. And I know that's a kind of a bold statement, but here's why. This week we're giving you something actually we almost never do, which is giving you Darko's entire latest pre-market analysis video, the PMA video, completely unedited. No highlights. It's not like, a highlight reel of his great trades. No, none of that. No shortcuts. It's just the raw process of how a consistently profitable trader breaks down the market in real time. Now, here's the part you don't want to ignore. If you're serious about becoming profitable, you're not just interested. I mean, everybody's interested in being profitable, but you're actually serious about it, committed to doing that. Don't just watch this once. Watch it again. And then watch it again, because what you're listening for isn't just a setup, it's the clarity, it's the confidence and the simplicity. That confidence, when you hear Darko speak, that confidence comes from over 8.5 years of doing this and being profitable every single year, not guessing and not hoping, executing a repeatable process that works, right? A solid trading plan. And that's what this is. It's a simple, structured, repeatable approach to trading that can be applied to any market. It could be Forex, which is what we mostly do, indices, or anything else. In fact, in this video, at the beginning of it, you'll even see Darko break down the Japanese stock market index, which was requested by one of our members. So as you'll see, look, there's no fluff, no overcomplication, just real trading done properly, the same way Darko does it twice every single week in his PMA videos. So if you're ready to stop, bouncing from strategy to strategy and start understanding what actually works, I really seriously think you'll get a lot out of this video. And make sure you watch it all the way through. Okay, there's no shortcut. If you're truly serious about becoming a profitable trader, you can't just be a tire kicker, right? It's like with anything else in life. Okay, enough said. Here is Darko.
Hi everyone, Darko here for your weekly PMA for Thursday the 26th of March 2026. Let's get started. Before I forget, there was a question about GP, let's see here. Jeez. Just give me one sec, guys. Yeah, it happened to, sorry about that. It happened to disappear from my list. So there was one of my client sent me an email about this. I think it's an index, right? GP225. So let's break this down in great detail, okay? We all know the drill. The upper three time frames, which is yearly, monthly, weekly, is for bias, bigger picture, trend, support and resistance, all the good stuff, okay? These two time frames below, daily and 4 hour, is for our entry, okay? So if I ask 100 traders if this is heading up or down, I hope at least all 100 of them will say that this is heading up. So that's for the bigger picture. So far, so good. Is the monthly heading up or heading down? The monthly is bullish, same as the yearly, buying bullish momentum. What about the weekly then? Well, here is where the problem begins. Some people will see this as a swing, which is completely correct. But the monthly is intact. So when the monthly is retracing, usually not always, price might break some structures on its way down into the level of support. Okay, so for the yearly, monthly, 100 out of 100 traders will probably be saying yes. On a weekly, there are some people who are seeing this as a swing, which is correct. So that means we are in bearish. The sellers are in control on a weekly chart, but the yearly and monthly having buying momentum. Price is retracing back into support. This is a monthly neckline. It happens to be identical with the weekly neckline. So far we are in agreement. Okay, so now I need to, because this is also a weekly level, I'm allowed to go down to the 4-hour time frame. If it's only a monthly level, then the daily is my entry time frame. So now this is identical, so I am allowed to go to the 4-hour time frame to see who is in control. Okay, price is making higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, complex pullback, another higher low, lower high, still complex pullback, and then boom, sellers are in control. Price is heading up. Where are we heading up to? Look left. Okay, price makes another lower high. Sure, we have some micro swings in here, but then we are heading down. Okay, this is the last swing. Price is heading up. Where are we heading up to? Look left. This structure stopped price from making a new higher high. Makes a higher low, lower high. The sellers are still in control. Another lower low, but we are not taking out this low. But then again, we are making a lower high and a lower low, and sellers are still in control. Now we are hitting a major level of monthly, weekly support, and now we are waiting for buyers to be in control, because the first time we touch and breach that level, price did not manage to breach this swing high. Sellers were still in control. Okay, and now we retest that level. Price was not going above these swings. Okay, makes another lower low, lower high, lower low, and then something happens. Boom, we breached the previous swing high. That means now when this candle happens, breach that level, now the buyers are in control. What do? Well, we draw a fib from the lowest point to the highest point, the 618 fib, or in this specific case support, whatever comes first. So which one comes first, the support level or the fib level? Well, the support level is above the fib level. That means the support will be your entry with a low stop loss. That's basically my entire trading system within 2 minutes. Okay? You identify momentum on your higher time frame. Price is retracing back to a level of support. Okay, you go down to your entry time frame and wait for a structure to be violated in order for buyers to be in control. And we have that in here. Win, lose, draw. This is a high quality pending order. So I hope that, because by the time this trader sent me this trade in, he took a screenshot and this was his last candle and said, is this a valid trade? Unfortunately, I didn't have time to get back to him. I said, you know what, I will cover that in Thursday's PMA. But I assume that he is in this trade, in it to win it, with a low stop loss. And now price is retracing back into your first swing neckline. Okay, looks just by eyeballing it just slightly less than 1-to-1, but we don't dictate the rules, we have to follow them. Okay, take out the risk. And you also, let me just remove the clutter. Okay, when you get filled, is this a leaving candle? No. Is this a leaving candle? No. Why? Because when we closed this candle, we did not close above the previous candle's highest point. Is this a leaving candle? Yes. Why? Because price closed above the previous candle's highest point. That means you are risk reducing, moving your stop loss below here to below this swing, because that's where we started. Okay, when we hit the first swing neckline, You take out 50% of the trade, your stop loss is still down in here. So this can never be a losing trade, only a reduced win. Okay, that's it. No fancy indicators, nothing you haven't heard like 3 million times. That's all you need. Okay, that's all you need. No more, no less. Okay, good. So let's go to our Forex pairs. Aussie Swissy, we canceled this trade because price missed our entry. And now there is nothing to do. I'm marking this, actually not marking anything because I'm preparing for Monday's PMA. So there is nothing to do. Okay, we will see how this weekly candle will be closing and we take it from there. Okay, AJ, obviously you always need to do the bigger picture. This is more rangy, but more it's like this high took out all the swings and everything. And this is the yearly chart. We don't base a trade only about a yearly level. We're just looking at the bigger picture. That's it. Okay, there are let's see here, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 trading days left before the monthly candle will be fixed, closed. Okay, so I'm marking the previous monthly closing price, which will act as support and resistance. So we have 2 ways of identifying support and resistance. One of them is necklines, the way I identify significant necklines. The other one is yearly, monthly, weekly closing price. That's it. Closing price is nothing more than support and resistance. If price is above it, it should act as support. If price is below it and we have established, that means we have background space, we have at least 1 candle's open, close, high and low clearly away from that level. That means we have established, consumed that level. Now that level becomes resistance because we are dealing below that level. Don't make this into a rocket science. Okay, this is simple. It's easy to understand. There is an institutional thinking behind those. I have explained those like a million times. Don't complicate things. Okay, so let me ask you this. Is price dealing below that monthly closing price, which is support or resistance? And this is a monthly neckline or a monthly closing price rather. That means I have to go down to the daily time frame because we do that 2 time frames thing. Okay, so if I ask 100 traders, has price clearly established, consumed that level, that closing price? Okay. Well, the criteria for consumption or dealing below that, I just explained that, and I've been explaining this for 9 years now. We need to have at least 1 candle, 1 daily candle, because this is a monthly closing price, clearly away, like open, close, high and low, clearly away from that level. Well, if the criteria is 100% objective, then the answer should be 100% objective. Okay? So that means no, price has not consuming or establishing below that level because there is no 1 single candle high and low, open, close, clearly away from that level. This candle is attaching that level or touching that level. This candle is touching that level. This candle is touching that level. But what if something like this happens? Okay. Okay. So this candle in here, the open, close, high and low is clearly away from the neckline or closing price, and we have some background space. So that means price has now consumed that level, and now this level should act as resistance. That doesn't mean you need to short or anything, no, because the momentum is bullish. Then we need to see a re-establish before doing anything. Okay? Because something that I promised my clients for 9 years ago is that my coaching needs to be 100% objective. So that means if you understand the rules correctly and if you are doing your homework by going through the content correctly, and by the way, we cut down like 50-60% of the content, the old content, what is remaining, that 40%, it should not take you more than 2 weeks to go through those. Take notes, be serious about this, not be interested in trading. I actually did a podcast episode. It has not been released yet. And I said in that podcast, I'm not sure who I was speaking with, because I was speaking with someone else. And I said, those who join my service that is only interested in trading are the worst clients to work with. When you are interested, you lose interest when something becomes hard. I want to work with people who are passionate about trading, and then with your passion, you develop something called obsession. And in a normal world, the word obsession is negative, but in trading, it's a must. You have to be obsessed with trading. You have to be curious. You have to ask great questions to understand the concept. Okay? So, for those who are passionate or obsessed with trading, they will understand that this is 100% objective. For those who are interested, they don't go through the content properly, and they don't know what a leaving candle is, or when price is consuming a level, what is closing price, why is closing price important, what does Darko mean when he said we are dealing below a certain level, what is a significant neckline, what is support, like key levels of support and resistance, what is advanced market flow, what is a complex pullback, what is a candlestick formation like inside bar, spinning top, or bullish engulfing, or bearish engulfing, or pin bars. They have no idea because they are just interested in trading. Those who are passionate or obsessed, they take the time to go through the content properly, and then they watch the PMA, they take notes, and they understand that, okay, what Darko is saying, it needs to be 100% objective. So that means if I ask 100 passionate or obsessed traders, all of them, every single one of them, will answer the exact same way. Okay? So in this specific case, we are sitting at that level. And the momentum is bullish. Price is heading up. Like if I ask educated traders, this is heading up. It's not heading down. We also have swing breaks and all the good stuff on the yearly, monthly. Okay? Now price is retracing on a weekly chart down to a neckline. We are sitting at that level, but this neckline alone is not the entire answer to the question. We need to combine that with the closing price, because we don't want to take any, premature trades. When we take trades, we need to have evidence. So what if price, I'm marking the closing price, which is support, and what if price does something like this? We take out this swing high, okay? Maybe, just maybe, we are breaching even this level that happens to be a daily level, okay? Will you be interested in buying or selling? Buying. Why? Because once we hit level of support, price took out the previous structure. That means buyers are in control. And to be dead honest with you, this is just a complex pullback, because when we left this area, we managed to make a higher high, higher close, and this is just complex pullbacking. So if that's the case, why didn't we take this as a pending order in here with a lower low stop loss? Well, the answer is, well, I was almost about to say something stupid, but I will bite my tongue and say that the market is slightly more uncertain than usual, and we are heading to the end of the month, and if this candle closes bearish, we might be due for a deeper retracement. Let's just put it in a professional way and not getting too excited about things happening around the world. Okay? That's basically it. Like, okay, if I ask you now, is this a rocket science? Is this hard to understand, to identify the bigger picture? Okay? And someone saying, oh, geez, Darko, you are changing this with the closing price. I'm super confused. Well, you are confused because you want to be confused. You want to find an excuse to not make this work for yourself. Because I just told you that closing price is nothing but support and resistance. And we deal with that like we deal with any significant necklines. Okay? So my bias is right now bullish, but I need some more evidence. And when we are hitting this level of support, I want to see also, this daily chart is providing me some easy information that I will be needing. I really enjoy levels when there are touches on both ends. What I mean by that, we have a neckline in here, resistance, neckline in here, resistance, a closing price, resistance. And now we have an entire candle, high and low, open and close, clearly away from this level. That means price is now established, dealing above that level. And that level should be acting as support. Now we have one touch, two touch as resistance. We have one touch as support. We are making a lower high and a lower low. So now it's a waiting game. Are we seeing this or are we seeing this? Okay? We don't care if this happens. We don't care if this happens. If we see this, then we do something about it. Okay, because the momentum is up on my 3 time frames that I, yearly, monthly, weekly, I prefer to see this rather than this because I don't want to go against the trend. And if I'm going against the trend, we have specific objective rules when you are allowed to go against the trend. Okay? Until then, there is nothing to do. Let's see what dollar index is doing. Dollar index is accumulating. We probably will, if we get and this is the thing, like we are dealing with probabilities. Many people ask me, mostly like, at my day job and people who are interested, hey Darko, what is this stock doing, 3 months from now? And I usually answer, I have no idea. I say like, geez, you are working as a professional trader and you have no idea. Are you scamming your clients? No, I'm not scamming anyone. I'm not a scammer. So how come you don't know what a certain stock or Forex or commodity or indices or cryptocurrencies, how come as a professional trader you make a partial living doing this and you have no idea what a certain financial instrument will be in 3 months from now? I'm not asking you for 10 years from now. I'm asking you 3 months from now. And I said, I have no idea. And I can tell you what, nobody on this planet or Earth have any idea what any certain financial instruments will be doing, 3 hours from now. So Darko, how do you make your money then? You're not scamming people and you have no idea what a certain financial instrument will be doing like 3 days from now. Well, I have developed certain pattern around key levels of support and resistance, and I'm combining my 9 trading circle instruments or parts of trading that I need to master. And when I see my signal occurring at a right place at the right time, I act upon that certain own developed pattern and I have an edge above the market. And they say, oh, geez, that sounds like a rocket science. I have no idea. That's like a foreign language. Like, what did you just say? Exactly. What did I just say? So make sure that you understand what I'm saying, and then you will understand why nobody knows what certain financial instrument will be doing 3 months from now, or 1 week from now, or 1 month from now. Because you don't need to know what the market is doing next in order to make money. It took me 10 years to understand that specific sentence. Okay? So when certain things happen around certain levels, and we have a specific method that is objectively explaining that, when you see that specific thing happening, then that thing is called pattern, in our case swing break. We act upon it. That's all you need to know. When you see it, you trade it. When you don't see it, you sit on your hands. That's it. Okay? Euro Swissy, someone asked me to look at this pair. No worries. Okay? Right now, as I'm speaking, we are sitting at monthly resistance. Okay? What is that monthly resistance? Well, that monthly resistance is the month of January closing price. It is resistance. So, are we pulling the trigger now, Darko, with a higher high stop loss? No. You have to ask yourself, who is in control? Okay? Who is in control? Buyers or sellers? Price is making, I'm ignoring this, just, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We have some micro swings in here. You could see this as one swing or some minor swings along the way. So when buyers are in control, Darko don't want to short this pair. And I don't care, like, if we are making higher lows for the next coming 10 years, I will still not be shorting unless I see a structure damage, violation of the previous structure. This is more like a... So what is a structure then, Darko? Because we have a swing in here, we have a swing in here, we have a micro swing in here. So which one do you take? V-shaped or U-shaped? Okay? And this is more like rangy and going up. So I would say this level will be, at least as I'm speaking, that looks like a legit swing. If I don't see it clearly in my brain, I don't trade it. Okay? So if this comes down, we usually come down to, look left, and then price might be doing another higher high above this one, where this swing is higher than this swing. And now this is a V-shaped form. And if something like this happens, now we have something. Okay? So I could be looking at Euro Swissy every 5 minutes, but I will tell you the exact same story. Nothing has changed. Okay? So if this is heading up, where are we heading up to? Well, we start with the yearly chart. We have some closing price, some necklines. That's far away from where price is at. On a monthly level, there are some necklines up in here. Okay, that's a monthly level. So that means we have to wait for a daily swing break. But it's also a weekly level. We have some necklines down in here. But there is actually a neckline before these levels. Okay, so now I'm marking this level and see what price will be doing when we hit that level, in case we are not doing any swing breaks, bearish swing breaks at resistance. So if the closing price is not acting at resistance, maybe this one will. Okay, that doesn't mean that the closing price is not working. No, it just price will tell you which level am I respecting. Most importantly, who is in control on the higher time frame? Like if I ask 100 passionate or obsessed trader if this is heading down or up, they will say down, Darko. That's easy. Same on weekly, like yearly, monthly, weekly is heading down. So longing is more a riskier business than shorting. So that means if you are a trend trader, you will be ignoring the longing signals and you are only looking for the shorting signals. Okay? Let's just play with, like, hypothetically speaking, the monthly candle will be engulfing the previous bearish one. So that means now we have a bullish engulfing. We just pretend that this is the end of March. And thank God that we will be leaving this month behind. This month, March 2026, I will remember that for the rest of my life. Okay? So, if this closes like this, we just pretend like, what do you like? Have a wild, educated guess. If you are passionate about trading and you have been listening to anything I have been saying for the past 9 years, what do you think, or what is the probabilities for the month of April? Well, if price comes down first, we will be hitting this level of support, and we will be heading up into this level or a monthly level. Super easy, okay? But if price is heading up first, we are hitting resistance on a weekly or monthly, and you get a bearish swing break on daily or 4-hour, depending which necklines we hit, we will be shorting. That's all I need to know. Okay, because I have no idea if this will be heading down, heading up, or going sideways, and I don't need to, because I do have, if something happens, and that something is specific, is screenshot, I have a game plan, and if that happens, then I do that. In this specific case, if the monthly candle closes like this, then I will be longing this level with a low stop loss if price is retracing to that level. If price goes up, touches a resistance level, weekly, monthly, I don't care, then I will be looking for sellers to be in control on my entry time frame. If that happens, then I take that shorting opportunity. So tell me that this is a rocket science. Tell me that this is subjective. Tell me that this is hard to understand. Okay? So the vast majority of the obstacles that you are facing in your trading, okay, it's only existing in this part of your head, and that is your brain. Okay? Your brain is preventing you to become a stage 4 trader. Because what I just explained is my entire concept. The same approach. It doesn't matter if I traded set and forgets, ACATs, rotations and swing breaks. I don't care which pattern am I trading, like Gartley, Cypher, Bat pattern, head and shoulders, or Mickey Mouse pattern, whatever pattern you want to trade. It doesn't matter, because the approach is simple, or at least understandable. Okay? But your brain tried to make this complicated, because if things were so easy, everyone become a stage 4 trader. Because that is what your brain is telling you, because your brain wants to avoid you to deal with pain. Losing is painful. Failing in trading is painful. Failing in life is painful, and your entire system, your body, your brain, every molecule of your cells in your body try to prevent you from pain. But once you understand something, it will be way more easier for you to follow a system. Especially when I'm actually providing an alert service, when I'm actually telling you, okay, we will be pulling the trigger here. I'm just making this up. This is not a pending order yet, okay? This is the entry. This is the stop loss. This is the target. Okay, we got failed. Okay, now we have a leaving candle, risk reduce, and now we hit the first swing. So I'm actually drilling my system combined with my alert service so you can deal with the pain, and the pain becomes less and less painful for every day, because you will have a better understanding for what Darko is doing every day, unless you are just blocked and you are just interested in trading. You want me to make you a stage 4 trader in 60 minutes, or maybe 1 week, or at most 1 month. And if you don't become a stage 4 trader within that 60 minutes or that 1 week or 1 month, you think that I'm BSing you, and you will be leaving my service and join that teenager on TikTok that is actually telling you to make a fortune in 60 minutes. And then you blow your account, and then you send me an email or a private message on LinkedIn or TikTok or my email and tell me, hey, Darko, I wish I listened to you. Now I'm broke. I don't have a single dime left. I burned everything. Can you help me? Do you think I have like at least 500 of these emails, messages stored on my laptop? Yes. And the answer is always the same. No, I cannot help you. You are either game over, you just spend your entire savings. Some guy lost I think it was like $500,000, and he told me that my education was expensive. And I didn't even answer, because if that person who actually wasted $500,000 and he think that, my $797 per year, which comes down to like $58 or $60 for my service, is expensive, okay, I don't have anything to say to you. Euro pound, we are at support right now. We are accumulating. We might be breaching, be due for a potential breakout. We just leave this alone. Okay. Euro Kiwi, we got filled. We got a leaving candle. Prices closing above the previous candle's highest point. We didn't do that here. We risk reduced. This is the swing. Okay, we took the second previous closing price as our entry. Go back and re-listen. Okay, and price touched the first swing of that move. We took 50% off. This can only be a winning trade. The same robotic, boring approach I'm using for the past 9 years. Okay? And what is prices doing right now, Darko? Show me the money. Well, the money is already been made. What price is doing? Price is retracing back now to the previous weekly closing price, which should act as support. Why? Because price is consumed that level. We have several candles, open, close, high and low, clearly away from that closing price, which now acts as support. If that was not enough, we also have a bullish swing break. When leaving that area, we have a bullish swing break, so now price is just retracing back to a level of support. Nothing you haven't seen like 3 million times. Okay? So that's what this price is doing right now. We are just coming down gently, in a controlled manner, down to the closing price. Will this be holding? I have no idea. I don't know, but my probabilities tells me that most of the times it will, especially if it's within the context, the bigger picture. Okay. Pound Aussie, we just canceled that trade. If I think that was a pending order. I'm just leaving that alone for now. There's nothing to do right now. I will be waiting for the candle to close, and then we will be probably doing some new entries. And we also have, the only problem with Monday's PMA is that on Wednesday we have a new monthly candle. And obviously if the monthly candle closes like this, then we need to see on the bigger picture if that is justified as support, which it is. That was a tongue twister. Then we definitely have a game plan. We do definitely have a game plan, because this looks, Darko expression, it looks juicy if we close bullish, because we have touches on both ends. This was support, 2 necklines as support, 1 neckline as resistance, and that neckline, this significant level, happens to be the previous monthly closing price, which is also in this case support, because we are dealing above that level, combined with structure damage or swing breaks. We have several candles, at least 2 of them, 3 of them, but these 2 are clearly open, close, high and low, clearly away from that significant level. So that means we are consuming that level, and that level should be acting as support, and we also have swing breaks. And if we happen to draw a fib, not because we need to, but just, out of curiosity, 618 fib. Maybe this will be heading up for the next coming 2 days or something, and then the monthly candle will be closing. Now, for those who are a fib trader, they have the 618 fib, the golden ratio. They have a significant level. They have the closing price. They have, I could go on for like 3 million hours. Okay? So, yeah, will this be like guaranteed a winning trade? I have no idea. But it's worth my 0.2% of my account, sure. But it's too early to say. Pound Swissy, cooperate. Okay? There was lots of questions about this trade, and I'm a bit surprised, to be honest with you. So we draw a fib. We took the 618 fib. I have a line there, so I could be removing the clutter just to make sure that we see the charts correctly. So we got filled. Okay, we got filled in here. Okay, is this a leaving candle? No, because we did not close below the previous candle's lowest point. Is this a leaving candle? No, we did not close below the previous the previous candle's low. Is this a leaving candle? No, we did not close below. We know I could go on, but then something happens. Okay, is this a leaving? This was your entry. Is this a leaving candle? Yes. Why? Because we closed below the previous candle's lowest point. And where is the swing? Someone said that this was a swing. No, this is not a swing. This is the swing. Price went up, got you filled, gave you the leaving candle. So this is the highest point where you should be putting your risk reducing. Okay. And then I said limit to BE when this happens. And someone got stopped out in here. And the distance between here and here is 21 pips. And you don't have 4 pips on Pound Swissy. If you have 4 pips on Pound Swissy on your brokerage firm, change that brokerage firm immediately. Okay? And sure, this could be happening as a reduced loss. No worries. That happens. Let's see how the Euro Kiwi trade will. We took TP1. If TP2 got hit, it will be, vanishing most of the reduced losses we had. Okay. So, leaving candle. When that happens, I said limit to BE. I won't be explain. I spend an entire 20-30 minutes doing a standalone bonus video about limit to BE. Do your homework. Don't be interested in trading. Be passionate. Be obsessed. Take notes. Take this debt seriously. Like I promised you, 1st of January this year, that last of December this year, you will be a stage 4 trader. But you need to do your homework. You need to be obsessed. People need to think that you are crazy. Okay? Don't be normal. If you are normal, you are just interested in trading, and you will never ever become a stage 4 trader. Okay? So we might get stopped out, and okay. That happens. I never said that all my trading will be winning trades. Okay. So let's see. It's not over until it's over. USD CAD is interesting. Let me tell you why. We are coming off some yearly level of support. We do know that. Okay, we did have an inside bar, one of my 7 candlestick formations that I'm having a huge faith in. Okay, and we seems to be, heading up. And I do have a very significant neckline. Okay, and that significant neckline happens to be identical with the weekly, and I don't see any legit threat to this trade until we come up to this neckline. Okay, there is some neckline in here that could be providing some type of resistance. That is okay. I do see this level in here, but this level stands out to me because when we left this area, price managed to make a lower low and also a lower low, lower close. Okay, I'm marking that identical neckline, putting that in context. What is happening right now? What is this significant necklines, identical significant neckline? What is this doing right now? Are we establishing above or below? We are establishing above if I ask 100 educated, obsessed, passionate traders. Okay? So why am I not making this into a pending order then? I want to see how this daily candle will be closing. Because the market is crazy. Okay? Because every time we place a trade and things look super bullish, and something happens around the world, or someone is tweeting or Xing, whatever they want to call it, and then things are going south. But once we have at least 2 strong daily candle actions, then we are definitely making this into a pending order. Sound like a robot. Okay? And it's only the 50% fib. We don't care about the fib. We care about support and resistance, and where to put our stop loss and everything. And if in case this is not heading down anytime soon and we get a 100% decisive weekly candle action, what do you think we will be doing for next week? Buying or selling? You say, oh geez, Darko, these are super obvious. Well, if everything I say is super obvious, how come you are not a stage 4 trader then? Okay, let me challenge you. Let me be in your face, because this is tough love, because I care about you. I could just make this PMA like 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, just, covering all the pairs that you want me to cover, like 30 seconds on each pair. And I say, thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon. No, I work with my soul. I pour in my soul into this service. Why? Because I care about you. I want you to make it. I want you to make that change for yourself. Okay? That's why I'm spending almost 50 minutes of my time, and I had a hell of a day being at the shooting range, freezing for 7 hours. No food, no water, no nothing. They drill us like we are preparing us for war or something. I'm freezing, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I come home, put a big smile on my face, I grab the mic, and I'm recording. This might be the PMA that will actually give you your, breakthrough, because every time I say something in a different way, and at some point one of the PMAs will click, and you will see the magic. You type, you take notes, you do your homework, and that specific PMA might be your breakthrough. So I'm pouring my soul into this service. Sure, I am in your face, because if I wasn't in your face, you will never make it. I don't tell you what you need to hear. Sorry, what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear, whether you like it or not. And that's why you respect me, because I don't BS you. Okay? So therefore, rewatch this PMA as many times as you want. Take notes. Go do your homework. Do some chart exercising. Okay? And if you do what I'm telling you to do, I guarantee you will be sending me an email or a message, either privately or in a chat room, like many other people has been doing so far, and tell me, thank you so much, Darko, I have now become a stage 4 trader. Let's do a follow-up podcast episode, and we tell the entire world about my story. Okay? And if you are just interested, you will probably quit within the next coming 2-3 weeks. That is up to you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a fantastic weekend. I will now go to my fireplace and warm up. I'm freezing to death. I'm looking forward to my trip to Colombia, get some sun, and thank you. Cheers.
All right, so there you go. If you got value from this, don't just move on, assuming that you're serious about seeing your trading become consistently profitable. go back and watch it again, right? And this time, focus on the process, not the trades. We never focus on the outcome of a trade because it's totally out of our control. But the objective process is 100% within our control. That's the secret to it all. And if you're serious about becoming consistently profitable, maybe it's time to take that leap of faith and make it happen. And, we'd be more than honored to be part of that journey with you. And finally, drop a comment below and let me know what stood out to you the most. I read all the comments, and I'd be really curious to know what it was that helped you the most. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Remember to watch it several times at least, because you know how it goes. Every time you watch something again, you always see something that you didn't notice before. All right, let's leave it at that. Remember that you can contact me anytime you want. If you have any comments or questions, I'd be happy to get back to you. Wishing you all a great weekend and trading week ahead. Take care.